things live. It's a very exciting morning for me personally and for all of you who are watching because I get to finally ask the question, is the capital rotation happening back? From early January, we went from risk on, from cryptos into risk off, into the gold, silver, mining stocks, and things of that liking. And now are we finally about to flip back to a risk off environment due to the continuing rate cut that we'll see in just about a week or so, and the silent announcement of the total depletion that's coming here in the months ahead, in the very short term, of the quantitative tightening that was left, which was roughly 400 to 500 billion. So that was like a monthly tightening they were doing. They're going away from that completely. They're going into a full-on quantitative easing and a rate cut environment that we already precipitated it with the last Fed meeting, which we actually had a rate cut of 1/4 of 1 basis point, which wasn't much, but it put us in the direction of, we're going down that path. So now we get to have the talk, and I put it in my title. XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Has the capital rotation to crypto from risk off begun? November surge expected. You'll see a different kind of demeanor today. I don't like the direction the show was going yesterday. I feel like I've been a little too friendly and bubbly the last few weeks. So it's got to be a more direct focus. I'll be more direct on the comments, and I won't entertain comments that end up pushing it in a direction I don't want. If that offends you, too bad. Good morning. 10:13 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Ever exciting. A very dark, gloomy, rainy start to the day in Michigan, but it's starting to clear up a little bit now, just to return later today. Starting to get the 40s in the morning, high 30s, 50s for the highs now instead of 80s, which we actually had last week. But now we're getting to the time of the pumpkins are coming. Halloween is now, believe it or not, only 10 days away from today. The November reversal is as early as 11 days from today, but we always aim for the second week of November to start to see the real the transformation taking place. And then we usually have a 4 to 6 week window where we have a nice reversal. That doesn't mean we go to new all-time highs. That doesn't mean that we're going to make all-time rallies in altcoins. That just means all the nonsense we've seen in September and what everybody calls October, which I say it every year. It's not October. I'd rather call it Downtober because it's not October. It's not. It's never has been. It never will be October. Just like September never has been and never will be a bullish month on average. The most bullish month on average in crypto is November because we have such a downturn in September and October. I know a lot of people can't understand that concept. I know a lot of influencers are telling you that this is very bearish, and I've been telling you the opposite. I said we were very bearish before the drop happened. I was begging everybody to go liquid and have a bunch of liquidity on the sidelines and not to buy this falling top that wasn't a top. It only seemed like a top on pullbacks because we had such a big rise up. Even the altcoins that have been doing shit, because let's face it, they've been shit. You might as well be doing this update from the bathroom on the toilet because the altcoins are performing like shit. XRP, which we said would outperform the market, which is why we bought it in 23 instead of the other altcoins. And it's not that we didn't buy the other ones. We just had more of an emphasis that XRP was going to outperform. And it did. But that's more about the staying power too right now. That doesn't mean we didn't have great buys along the way where we had IOTA back in the yesteryear. And let's play this out again at what's going on here. So we had IOTA at 9 cents. We had Algo at 11 cents or 10 cents. We had HBAR at 5 cents. We had all these different things. XLM at 9 cents or 10 cents. We had XRP at 34 cents. Still have XRP. Then we were able to buy more at 38 cents, which if you did what I did, we got rid of the 38 cent buy plus $3 and $3.40 and all that nonsense, as you know. 34-cent buy can't be moved because that's your permanent bag of XRP. Now, if you're willing to get rid of some and take, like I said, even if you had 10,000 tokens It's okay to take 2,000 of them when it's at $3.50 and get some money, get your buy-in back instead of 8,000 tokens. It's okay to do that. It's okay to take it and pay off your house if you're in that situation like Sean was and a few others and still have it or have others. It's okay. You made 10x. The point is you were able to take the journey with us when we guaranteed, and I don't make many guarantees, but I said I can guarantee if you put $3,500 in right here, it's going to turn into $35,000. Took about a year. Well, 2 years. You got to do it at $3,800 and the $35,000, but for a year. But the point was at that point we said $3,500 for XRP would turn into $35K. Would that be life changing to you? And that was the big thing we did for a long time, and it was. For a lot of us. Not just that move, but what it ended up turning into. Then we talked about the capital rotation back in January, why you had to be in mining stocks and gold and silver. I'm here to tell you now, not just that gold and silver is just going to fall out because it's not going to, or the miners are just going to give it all back because they won't. They'll give some back. But this is now the time where it becomes more appealing to start to accumulate back. And you shouldn't just do it right now. You should have did it on that big wick down. That's what we were preparing for. We even had the targets almost dead freaking on. But you see how the weekly's oversold? This is where you accumulate, and you would love to do it on this wick. But if you missed it, now you have to make decisions. We talked about the aforementioned IOTA, how we were buying it at 9 cents in yesteryear, and then it rose up when we sold it, correct? When it came up here, I did not get 60 cents. I got 52 cents. Or no, not 52. Yeah, 52. Because in the daily it came back up here, not just in the weekly. So I didn't get the top, but I seen around. Then we bought it again down here somewhere and sold it. Then I sold out at 17 and waited. As it turned out, it only took about 6 hours. But bought that big drop. I didn't get 8.2, or I mean 7, whatever it was. 7.6, but I got 8.5 as I shared with the audience. And I can keep showing it, but I think you all believe me by now. So now the reason I say this is we've had that dump down where legitimately we've cleared all-time levels in a lot of these altcoins. IOTA has never come down here since 2020 finally cleared out this big gap area and created a formidable uptrend that makes sense now. All of these tokens that everybody's afraid to buy. Guys, we're oversold now in the weekly. If you don't accumulate when you're oversold in the weekly, when do you accumulate? Stochastic is oversold. I understand in the weekly that the RSI alone is not oversold, but I put more emphasis on the stochastic being way oversold like that. It's more, I think it's more on point with the analytics it's sharing with us because it puts a little more thought into it. So let's just do this real quick. Stochastic, RSI versus RSI. So one key difference is how quickly the indicators move. Stochastic RSI moves very quickly from overbought to oversold or vice versa, while RSI is a much slower moving indicator. One isn't better than the other. Stock RSI just moves more and more quickly than the RSI. So the stochastic RSI is more sensitive to price changes than the traditional RSI, which is why I like it. It takes more factors into play. It offers more timely signals. It shows when the market is in an overbought or oversold condition. It can generate different types of entry signals, such as the overbought, oversold signal, and divergent signal. Now, I do like the slower movement for dissecting, like in Bitcoin, which is why I have the RSI on here as well when it happened. I like the slowness of this when you look at it in the weekly because it helps you identify divergences, hidden divergences. And as you can see right now, we got it. Oh, it's still perfect. We've got a hidden divergence here. So basically, we've got a deceleration here, or a decline down in the RSI, the relative strength index. However, we've had a bullish price action. So in the same time, we've had this divergence, and it's very important to understand this stuff. These are key giveaways in the market that will tell you what's coming. Same things that we were looking for in the gold and silver and mining stocks that were confirmed through these kind of things is the same kind of thing now that is being confirmed in crypto. It's being confirmed in crypto. That's a hidden divergence there. Starting on an where was this at exactly? Because we want to start from the divergence. Actually, I have to go up higher. I went from the lower area, which is fine, but we got to go into the right spot for my argument. So it started on the divergence here, basically in June of 25. The price was 97,000 roughly. Bitcoin has appreciated now when it got to, let's just say, 104. However, the RSI went from 62 all the way down here to 51, even though the price is appreciated by about $8,000. This is a hidden divergence. You have to be very on point to look at this stuff and recognize it. And I don't mean like, oh, you have to be better than, you just have to pay attention deep. But at the same time, understand, you see how that's at the neutral area? Look at the stochastic is telling you. With the turbulence here, with the sensitivity of the market, with all of the unknown factors, and the fact that now all of a sudden, the price action slowed down, but we haven't topped. It's telling us right now in the stochastic that, hey, everybody, like, I understand what's going on here in the optics around, but this market is too fearful. And we're about to have an unexpected reversal in the month that should be expected that everybody seems to forget about. Every single year it happens. By the time we get to November, everybody's so worn out that only the fittest of the fit, only the strongest of the strongest, and only the most timely and understanding of the bunch, when it comes to the knowledge, are going to sustain. And this is exactly what's going on again. This is exactly what's going on again. So that's, and we talked about this yesterday, like, I would not kill anybody. Because now if you're selling everything, you see it down 10, 11%. I mean, if you start selling the big drop at the median point, you could start to cost yourself. Now, even if gold's done, you're going to see a day now. It's down a couple $100 here, which now we've got the daily reversal. So I'm expecting a move, as I've said, back down to 4,125 to see how it works out. If that doesn't hold, I completely expect to move back down over 3,500. Is it going to happen in one swift drop? No, it never does. So what's probably going to happen is we'll come down here if it holds, and it probably will at some point. And then it's going to back test this early wick. So if you're looking to sell things, don't do it on this immediate drop if you haven't done it. Just a wide piece of advice. And I'm asking you to take profits at some point here. I talked about it before the second drop yesterday. I'm asking you, if you've been in the mining stocks with me, you got to take profits at some point if you're looking at it. If not, you ride this wave and you wait for the continuation up, because it will happen. But your point would be, look for the bounce back right about 4,187. That's probably going to be, that was your early wick, came around, now fell through that, created a new low. That's, unless we're starting a new uptrend, which I can't tell you yet. But this is where I would start to look if you were going to do something. Obviously, if you come on, you're like, oh my God, it's down 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks bad. Remember we talked about this a couple weeks ago? Everybody's going to freak out. They're going to see everything's down, but not realizing, like, you got to remember the pricing. You know, now Dolly Varden again is back down in that 420 range. That's another area where it comes down there. And the problem with buying all the miners right now is we've had such a big run up. Like, this is where a lot of people get in. Now, if you've been holding them, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, well, down a little bit here today. But let's face it, Hecla was in the $4 range. It's almost at 13 still. This is what you have to start going through in your head. You know, First Majestic was at 4 whatever. It's at almost 13. Fortuna was at, what, $3.75, $4. Now it's at $8.11. I'm talking about from where we were buying. Pan America was at 18 and 22. I mean, you see what I'm saying. So you've got time. B2 Gold is at 240, 280, it's at over 5. Barrett was at 14.50, it's at 32. So there's time to make the exit. It's the same thing I do in crypto. I never take the head. I always wait for that right shoulder to form, and then I pull away. I didn't sell in December. But this isn't the end of all of this. That's the point. Like, If you want to take profits, but this isn't the end of it. Gold did, or silver did exactly what I anticipated. 100% on the nose what we were anticipating before the rise ever happened. We targeted that area, and look how close it came. It was right there. It was right there. So now we're consolidating. First test is the 200 or the 20-day and the daily. The weekly puts it in a slightly different spot because you'd have to come all the way back down and retest the $40 area. Is that unheard of? No, it's not. That's why I keep saying, like, if you want to take profit and then re-enter when it gets back down there, I'm not opposed to that. What I would expect to happen now is silver to probably come back up here and retest that $50 range after it holds support on one of these levels, because it's going to get so oversold, as you see in the RSI and the stochastic and the short time frames. We're going to have a reversal in the miners again, and silver and gold, that everybody's not going to expect. But that's going to be where the ones who have been in for a long time, and I don't sell gold and silver bullion. That sits there. I don't really care how far it goes back down. This is my hedge against inflation. 100 on, it doesn't even matter. It's the hedge against inflation. So, you got to watch all of that. So this is exactly what we were talking about last week, especially. It's coming. It's coming, and when it does, everybody who just bought it is going to sit there and say, Tom's an asshole. It's down 10, 15%, 20% in 2 days. But not looking at the whole picture of where we started at and where we're at. We're so far up right now that, yes, you have to have big pullbacks like this. You have to. It just has to happen. But you also have to find your spot where you're taking, because you don't want to give it all back. Now just wait for this reversal if you've been in for a while with me. Wait for some of these reversals to start happening when they inevitably are going to, because these are going to bounce probably pretty good to the down direction after this push up. There's always opportunity in miners. So this could be the first hit back to the top, bounces all the way down. So I've got decisions to make in the next so many hours and days. So, but these are the unfun times, especially if you time it wrong. So, but don't read too much into this, guys. The inflation is going exactly where it's going to end up. We're under 4% now on the 10-year yield, which is horrible. I have a feeling that this big drop is more to do with the paper contracts and manipulation here to lower the price to restock up. I have a strong feeling that that's what's going on here. And it happens a lot. Oh, I've been waiting for this. I know a lot of you have. But when you see what ends up happening next, it's gonna take time and tribulation here. But there's gonna be a lot. Yes, with the expansion of war coming, I agree with that. With the devaluing of native currencies, there's a lot of things. But yeah, we won't harp on that too much anymore. I just wanted to let everybody know the strategy going forward. And if you want to stay out ahead, now you start to put money to the side again if you're looking at miners and wait for this to clear out a little bit. And yeah, we're going to have some up days, so you're going to get caught in between here. That's why the buying and selling. If you sell right now, and then all of a sudden we get a 4% reverse, so now all of a sudden you're going to sit there and say, oh my fucking God, I just sold out and it's up 4%. That's what always happens. So you just got to kind of sit through here and see how big of a correction it's going to be. And it's well overdue. I am sitting here taking a sigh of relief because it's been well overdue. It couldn't just keep possibly going up like that. It couldn't. We put ourselves in a bad situation. Now, however, crypto, I think the capital rotation is going to begin here. It makes sense. It makes sense. So, hopefully everybody understands what I was saying. Dan Marginal, good morning, and thanks for being in town for 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Parker, Jay from X Edgar, good morning. Crypto Cooter and Aaron Reynolds, good morning, and thanks for being in town for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And Crypto Cooter, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Jesse, Mrs. G. Stott, and all the world states, thanks for being in town for 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Florida Attorney and Ben Graham, welcome in. Mark Casson, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge. Damon, Christopher Brown, Anthony Venegas, Robert Latham, thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, and that is my face superimposed on that emoji badge. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my main man from Maine and a very trusted mod. Nunya, welcome in, and Sean, during this last drop down to that 84 centile, I forgot to tell the audience, I did make one move, and there may be more. When this came down and tested the back test here, I actually upped my holdings from 8,800 to just over 10,000, as I said I was going to, because I didn't get the entire fill when it was down here. I only got it to fill 8,800 at 72-cent average as it was coming up and down. So I bought more when it came down to the here. So I'm very happy about that. So I got my 10,000 tokens now. Now, if it comes farther and breaks this, and it shows that it's going to come all the way back down, I'll sell all 10,000, take the profit, but I don't suspect that's going to happen. It might, but something tells me we're probably heading into the area of a short squeeze, even if it might be a little early, but we're getting close to November now. I am so excited about what's coming, I can't even describe it. So I had to change my demeanor today. Calvin Wilson, Craig Carlson, Frankie Fresh and Tango, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Frankie Fresh, give Janine my love, and I hope your hand is ever so slightly improving today. Trading with J-Ride, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 4 years with the XRP Phoenix badge. A beautiful group of souls here today. Crazy Paul, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. It's all an illusion. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Poppy Lou and Alec Tony, thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Areli, good morning, love. I'm so glad to see you in here as always. Such a blessing. Living the dream, good morning. Did you look into Evernorth and XRP and what might happen? I did. I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta think about that a second. I'm going so fast, my mind's not calculating what you're asking. It's all an illusion. Thanks for being in Tom's Army 6+ months with the XP Predictor, along with Define Group. And Define, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here in the Telegram. It's all an illusion. Thank you not only for being in Tom's Army for over 6+ months, but also the $5 donation this morning. It says, really dove into the charts last week after you said alter in a bear market still last week. The vast majority are offsides, in my opinion, badly. You are 100% right about that. You're 100% right about that. I can't disagree. Define says, hey, everyone, hit that like on the way in. Consider subscribing and joining Tom's Army for the best technical analysis on YouTube. If you're not in the Telegram, you're missing out. Yes, I would love to see a surge in memberships in Tom's Army. Not gifted memberships, real heart-filled people joining Tom's Army, rejoining Tom's Army, showing that grace and gratitude. Not now, when this capital rotation happens. I would love to see you put your money where your mouth is when we have this next rotation. Burn everything, welcome. And that goes for the audience viewing. Matteo, welcome. Alt season canceled February 25. Trump tariffs killed the election pump. No, it didn't. The charts were done. How could I have possibly called the top in January if the tariffs didn't happen in February, until February? Now, don't get caught up in that bullshit, Mateo. That's how the retail gets left behind. It's Trump's fault. The politicians stopped the market from moving. It's all the rich fucks. It's all the business owners. No, that's not what happened. We were overbought, period. We had a parabolic spike, had nothing to do with Trump, had nothing to do with the... It doesn't. It's an algorithm, my friend. The sooner everybody realizes that, the less you guys are going to bitch and piss and moan about how everybody kills everything. No, they didn't. You know what killed it? Your lack of ability to read a chart. Because you bought the wrong time and you couldn't get out of the way. It's that simple. Nobody did it to anybody. So you're telling me they killed it all when the institutions are profiting off it. It doesn't happen that way. You had a post-election pump, just like I said would happen, because of all the donors on the right and left donating via crypto because they want all this stuff to happen. You think they're really just donating that money? No. They said you donate this, you front run our election, blah 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 to the onset, which doesn't even matter. And then they just pump the crypto market and they make off like bandits. We get held holding the bag, and guess what they do? They play the blame game, and we continue to play the blame game for them. Oh, it's Trump's fault. It's Biden's fault. It's blah, blah, blah. No, it's nobody's fault. It's our fault. They give us the breadcrumbs. It's up to us to understand. And I continue to say, does this look like a bearish market now, like everybody's telling you, or have we not been into the bullish side of the cycle yet? Isn't XRP the deceiver? Like I said, before this rally even happened, it's going to be the deceiver coin because now it's going to look like everything else is going to follow along, and it's not. And then once everything else is ready to have the big push, everybody's going to buy the deceiver coin that might have 1 or 1.5x left in it for the cycle, while all these other ones might run 7, 10, 15x. We don't know. And I think that's exactly what we're setting up for. And I'll never say I told you so. I'll just say next time, learn from what we can't do and try to figure it out to the best of our ability. We're nailing these capital rotations for a reason. But I think this one's a slightly different rotation. Think of all the profits from people like me that are going to happen from the mining sector and understanding metals that might just maybe not necessarily put it all into crypto, but maybe not take out from crypto like we might have before with the profits and just reposition deeper. That's what happened to me. And I've never had this much money that I in the beginning of a cycle when it's because the altcoins, in my opinion, are still in the bear market. And we've tapped those levels for a reason. We've tapped them. The only reason somebody would be mad at Epic at 94 cents right now is they were buying that $3 to $4 push. When I said, stay the fuck out of this. I couldn't have drawn it out any clearer. I'm sorry it took a few extra days. But that's what happened. Instead of it happening here, it went farther across. This ended up going over to here. And then it rotated in and gave us an even better buy because of all the vast liquidations. Do you know what it did here on Epic? These sons of bitch scum bags like they always are. If you want to blame somebody, blame the exchanges, okay? There wasn't, just blame the exchanges. They have the manipulated effort. It's the exchanges. It ain't fucking Trump. It isn't, it's the exchanges. They all collude and they turn off the buys for a period of time. And people are like, what do you mean they turn off the buys, you fucking asshole? They turn off the buys. So when you go on the exchange, they're lagging. The pricing is way higher than where you, that's essentially the same equivalent. If this is at 77 cents, let's say, and the buys are letting you buy it at 96, that's the essential of turning off the buys because not only everybody's going to sell. When it's a 30% difference, no one's buying it unless you're fucking moronic. I also would look for a different exchange that you can use in the moment and then just send it over to the exchange you prefer as a tier 1. But anyhow, these sons of bitches came all the way through. So even if you had a 1x long, you're fine. You can't be liquidated on a 1x long. But however, if you come in here and say on a 1x short, you can't be liquidated. You are out of your gall. See, from where you buy it to the point it goes down on a 1x, it can't go down any farther than 0.00001. That's 99.99999%. If it goes to 0 and it liquidates you, that's because the token goes to goodbye and everybody's gone, even in spot. Now, in a short 1x, which is why I don't like leverage to begin with, can the price not go up 100% from where you shorted it? Of course it can. Can it not go up? Of course it can. So once it gets to 100%, you are liquid. And a lot of people forget that, though. I'll do a 1x, you can't get liquidated. You can on the short side of it, so be careful. But what they did was every single person that had 2x and higher, no matter if they had it all the way down at 74 cents, even though it was all the way up, look at this. This is incredible. It was at $2. So everybody with leverage at 2x at 74 cents, do you think they're thinking from up here it's coming down here? And then all of a sudden on one lucky wick, it goes all the way to 50 cents, essentially bleeding everybody from 2x or higher. Everybody in the entire token. That entire liquidation is gone. The only reason you do things like that is because you're going to levels never seen before on a token. That's what it usually speaks to. Especially because this one got into discovery and has back tested the breakout beautifully now as we said was going to happen. I mean, we measured this the entire movement. It's had a 84% correction from the top at 325. That is so freaking beautiful. And now everybody who was excited, I don't hear anybody talk about Epic in my chat no more except Sean, honestly. Maybe Shane. Shane talks about it, but not many. It's basically me and Sean leading the charge now with Epic. And I said, don't buy this up here. Please, God, no. I begged Shane so many times. Please don't buy it in here. Buy the back test. God, did we get so lucky to have this breakdown like this. I can't even explain it. Oh, my God. I'm like literally shaking on the inside from what I think is going to happen on some of this market going forward. And that doesn't mean we don't dump out more. It just means what I think is coming is well worth it. It's just the way, it's the same way I felt in January. I didn't know when it was going to happen with miners, and some took 6 to 8 months. But we were buying the bottom. That's the bottom line. Let this go down real. I hope this goes down 20% today so that it can have a bounce back so we can see where we're at on resistance. Or 15. We just want to see where we're at. We need this. And then if it comes up in the short time frame and it gets rejected, pull away. Not the gold and silver bullion, but pull away from the miners if you want for a little bit. We're going to have another epic opportunity, and we're not going to miss it again. It's just the moment I sell out of a miner, you guys remember how I did it. I don't become a long holder until it gets back into oversold. So if I do get out of it here, not today, God no. I'll show you good selling principles like I always do. But you're going to end up seeing something spectacular if this is actually happening. I'm almost like I can't believe what's happening. Like, how could it have been so tailor-made? And it's not tailor-made. You have to understand, because look how many people now are bearish. We've topped. It's over. The cycle is topped. Oh, and going into the dude who was hacked again. I don't trust it. I keep talking about it. I don't trust him. Now all of a sudden he's becoming an influencer in XRP and all this crap. I'm sorry, if I lost $3 million worth of XRP, I'm not coming on here being an influencer on XRP. I'm calling out all of them. Why haven't we heard shit? I don't trust it. I think I don't know what's going on anymore, but I think we're getting the window pulled over our fucking eyes. We're being dressed, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what we're being gutted for, but man, oh man, are we losing the objective here? That something ain't right there. I smell a rat, and that's all I'm going to say. I smell a fucking rat. Glenn Barlow, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge. Controlled opposition. Don't hold XRP. Don't hold all of this because of what happened. I'm yet to see somebody who's held something when it was at 0.0 or pennies on the dollar to not say one time in a social media post, hey, look what I did here. Maybe you should be following me. Something ain't right here. The human condition doesn't allow for us not to brag in the slightest. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Also, all of his posts about like his restaurant and stuff not going so, like, if you got 1 million XRP being built up here and you're like, I don't want to get into it. G-Stot, Jesse, Juan Cannolis, and you're going to need some cannolis indeed for this market. Thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Kwame Martin, the Cannabis Podcast, and Jacoby. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Much appreciated. Federal Reserve meeting as we speak about digital payments and crypto. I completely forgot it started. Thank you for alerting me, my good friend. And make sure you guys follow the Cannabis Podcast. It'd be greatly appreciated. I even put out a 4-minute video that I was just talking. And it had no rationale. I put behind it when I recorded what I was saying after. Just the charts and stuff. It was actually pretty nice. Oh, what am I doing? Fed. Let's see. The Federal Reserve meeting. Let's see if they let us see these scumbags. Senate Republicans head to White House amid stalemate on government shutdown. Who gives a fuck? I don't. Live from Commonwealth National Convention. Let's see what the 10:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would encourage you to follow the Federal Reserve's YouTube. I do, so that they can make even more money and ad revenue off of us. Just think about how big of a con these scumbags are. They're all making money off of us watching this on YouTube. So why don't... who actually gets that money is what I want to know. But that starts at 10:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's keep that over here so that we can remember. Ah, you cocksucker. I shouldn't have moved it. It's not moved my face. You bastard. That's fine. We'll put this over here. Apparently I'm going to be down there today. But we'll watch that. I think we should watch that. It's probably important. It's probably going to be a bunch of horse shit again, but it'll be important. Gold's taking it up the ass today, down 5.7%. If you had pants on, you might have... you still have pants on. You're doing fine. This is the part where I always laugh with gold and silver because it's on the media. They finally talked about it. Gold is crashing today, down 5%. Oh yeah, crashing, huh? Where did it come from? But Bitcoin pushing past over what 110, almost 110,400 now. Who could have seen this coming? I just hope everybody stays fearful. Please let everybody stay so fearful. Ah, it can't be at 34. Is it really getting up there now? Ah. Yeah, they're probably going to set us up for another. Well, we'll see. I like fear, though. When's the next update? 9 hours? I like when it was pushing down towards 25 and 23. I loved it. Or 22, I think it got to. Let's see. Bitcoin long-short ratio. Let's get an update here as we're waiting for 10:50. Oh, let me continue to say hi to everybody. Devin, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. Oh, Linnea. Oh, you think we covered Linnea a lot? That's another reason I'm getting excited here. Oh, am I getting excited? Because if you're copy trading me on, and this is where it's going to be important on TOOBIT, if you're copy trading me, and you can start if you download BitUnit or TOOBIT, in the chat, I have the comment pinned, I believe. Do I have pinned comments this morning? Maybe not. Do I not have pinned comments this morning? I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe I need to pin the comments. I thought I pinned the comments. Let me see. It's not showing up on my tablet, but why would it? I mean, not on my tablet, but on my other. I guess I didn't pin it. Look at me. So if you want to join TOOBIT, and then also I encourage you to go on my Facebook page. Almost 8,000 subscribers or followers. But if you want to copy trade me, you got to set this up soon because I'm telling you, once it gets to where I want it to, and I'm going to sell my Linnea that I bought at 009 whatever and put it back onto the market so that I can put all of it on to the buy with the group. I'm buying Linnea with the group as long as it lets it go through. I made my decision because I want to do a case study. We already hold XRP from 34 cents. I want to see going forward when we do buy it, and you guys might have to just face the facts if you're down, if you're buying it with me, because when I buy it next, unless I wholesale it like I do sometimes if I see a big correction coming, which could happen. Other than that, I just buy the accumulation and then I ride it out into the sunset. Like you're not seeing me buy and sell IOTA and all these other ones that I bought and it had the grand, because I'm waiting. Now it's time. After that big drop, I sold before the drop, bought it back. So now, if you want to, just click on that link, join TOOBIT, and then go to copy trade XRP Future Millionaire. I did one test trade. I did it before everybody started joining, so nobody would be in on the loss. I think I lost $100 and something because I did a high sum of money to do the high time of volatility. On the profit sharing, I put it to 0%, which means I don't take any profit, zero, off the copy trades. So if you're in it and something's going good, join Tom's Army. I'm not here to make money off of you. I make $0.00 off of us if we're profitable. Remember on BitUnix, it forced me to take 10%. We're up $3 grand, and people started getting mad. Well, I was up that much, but as a group, we're up like $100 and something thousand. So people got mad. I didn't get 10 grand. I got like 1,500 in profit share because it goes through the plus minus of the person. But people were mad that I made $1,500 and blah. It's like, dude, if I'm an asset manager, we're up 100 and something thousand. I should be getting more than 1,500. Look at the balls I had to have on the table. That was assets under management, AUM. That's how much people trusted me with it. But on this, I put it to 0% because I have the ability. I don't want your goddamn money. If you want to follow it, so be it. And if you want to give me a pay it forward mentality, go for it. But I'm not here to make money off of you. If you think I am, too bad. That's not what I do. If I wanted to make money off of you, I'd come here every day and advertise some bullshit. Like everybody else does. And don't tell me they don't, because everybody else does. Every fucking person of my size or bigger does, period. Except for me. So I stand by that. And it's pride. I have a lot of pride in it. A lot of pride. And that's why I encourage you to join Tom's Army. I don't talk about it enough. Because I'm not going to get left behind because I have the ability. I have the ability to do what I need to do. That's why I won't get left behind. I hope you guys don't leave me behind. I hope you guys come in line with me. But anyhow, Bitcoin long-short ratio still outperforming with shorts, 50.7% short in the daily compared to 49.2% going long. Ethereum, 51.4% short, 48.5% long. Solana, 51.6% short, 48.3% long. XRP, 50.75% short, 49.25% long. Let's see some of the ones that I care about. I couldn't give a rat's. Oh, Doge, because Julie owns it, 50.79% short, 49.2% long. And let's see. ADA, 50.7% short, 49.2% long. Link, some of you like it. 50.75% short, 49.2% long. And if you're here and you leave, that's on you because if you don't want the real information to trade a market, find the exit because I don't go through the bullshit. I'm going to show you what's going to help you trade. I'm sick of acting like that's not what I do. So that's what I do, and you're going to hear about it every day because you need to learn this. If you don't want to know how to trade, don't watch this. XPL, even that's got an over the short side. That's interesting. ZAC, because some of you talk about it all the time, 51.1% long, 48.8% short. That's not in the right direction. Ooh, AVE. 50.2% short, 49.7% long. Actually, I could see it starting to flip a little bit. We're starting to get to that. Ooh, XLM, perfect. 50.7% short, 49.2% long. And then I seen arbitrage, or H-bar even. 52.3% short on H-bar. That is so interesting to me. 47.6% long. That's crazy. Especially where we're at. The 1 month liquidation chart on the heat map, which you guys should all be familiar with this. If you're not looking at this, you are highly missing out. And I encourage you to go to coinank.com because they put a lot of different charts together. While this is taking its sweet old time, let's get back into the comments. Backbone Society, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So Bad Silver Days. Good morning and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. James Dula Nunya, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Robert, we're going to get into Linnea this morning still if this ever goes. There is an inverse head and shoulders indeed on XRP, Scotty Trade. Yes, there is. What the hell is going on here? Wouldn't it be funny if this goes away? Goodbye for now. Let's see. Oh, shit, it's 10:50. Fucking A. I wanted to watch that. Well, while this pile of shit figures out what it wants to do, I want to watch the Federal Reserve meeting. Yeah, I know some people don't care, but I do. And if I care, you should, because there's a reason why.
America had gone after the bottom side of the pyramid in terms of wealth, and The really important part.
Oh, they were taking a break?
Very busy fall schedule for the Fed.
Okay, no.
They're under watching online. It's worth come from the DeFi.
This is what I wanted to hear, this part. The DeFi. Come on. God.
And its intersection in payments issues. The director.
All right. So this is going to get into the payments and the DeFi and all this crap. So this is what I wanted to know. That's what I wanted to know. Let's see. I'm glad everybody's starting to learn. Yeah, I know, it's an all-day conference. I was trying to section it off, though. I wanted to see what the DeFi... Come on. Good.
He has long-standing interest in new technologies and innovations in payments. As an academic, he wrote extensively about monetary theory and its intersection in payments issues. He has studied Bitcoin's early potential as an alternative currency and stablecoins' impact as a like payment instrument. In 2021, as a new Federal Reserve governor, he gave a speech on CBDC
Just fucking go up there.
called A Solution in Search of a Problem. It proved foundational in terms of the topic and the discussion of that topic. Governor Waller is chairman of the Fed's Payments Committee and has
This
given
is
many
important.
speeches about payments, stablecoins, and DeFi. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Governor Chris Waller.
Good morning. All right. Well, thank you, Susan, and good morning to everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Federal Reserve Board for our first Payments Innovation Conference. My objective in creating this conference is twofold. First, I wanted to have a conference that focused on the new technologies that had come from the DeFi and crypto worlds and how they are entering into the mainstream payments ecosystem. My goal is to have a vibrant discussion about payments between traditional payment incumbents and the new entrants from the DeFi world. Second, I wanted to send a message that this is a new era for the Federal Reserve in payments. The DeFi industry is not viewed with suspicion or scorn. Rather, today, you are welcome to the conversation on the future of payments in the United States and on our home field, something that would have been unimaginable a few years ago. My view for the Fed from now on is embrace the disruption, don't avoid it. As you know, we are well into a technology-driven revolution in payments, and I'm here to say that the Federal Reserve intends to be an active part of that revolution. A number of technological advances are transforming the payment system. Stable coins and tokenized assets, making use of distributed ledger technology. The rapid adoption of artificial intelligence AI, and increasingly the convergence between these innovations and the traditional financial ecosystem. This includes the institutions and infrastructure that our economy has long depended on to operate a safe and efficient payment system. And yes, this also includes the Federal Reserve. The revolution in transforming payments is demanding change everywhere. And I will say more in a moment about some new ideas that the Federal Reserve is studying to support those innovations. I have spoken before of what I see as the two broad models of payments innovation in our market economy. The first is private sector driven innovation. Most innovation comes from the private sector, which is motivated and best positioned to allocate resources and take risk with new technologies. The second model is when public sector entities, such as the Fed, build platforms and provide services that enable the private sector to more readily and rapidly expand new services to its customers. This should be done rarely and in limited circumstances where it addresses
Do
a
a test
specific
here real
market
quick.
need.
I want to see if Linnea works
The
on it.
posture
I
of
think
public
it does.
institutions, including the Federal Reserve,
I think it will.
should be to acknowledge and embrace private sector innovation that can improve the payment system while preserving its safety and stability. which are as essential to the new generation of innovators as they are to legacy institutions. Now let me pull back a moment and remind everyone how we got here. Since nearly its founding, the Federal Reserve System has worked to facilitate payment and settlement system efficiency alongside the private sector. From the beginning, the clearing services provided by the reserve banks obviated the need for daily movements of cash in armored cars with heavily armed guards. Long before we started speaking of the payment rails that are facilitating the kind of innovation we're discussing today, the Fed was running trains on steel rails to deliver and clear paper checks traveling across the country. FedWire began conducting interbank transfers through telegraph wires in the early 20th century. Fast forward today, where we have multiple infrastructures that settle interbank transfers in real time. Today's conference will focus on private sector-driven innovation. We have assembled 100 private sector innovators who are leveraging
I'm bored
technology
already.
to create new possibilities.
All right, so with Linnea, this guy's a fucking
Our
idiot.
panelists are engaged
For
in
Linnea, I got
integrating
3K on
traditional
copy
financial
trade.
payment rails
I
with
sold out. I
distributed
need to buy it
ledgers,
back, but I want to do it with the group. I've given everybody plenty of time. I've been talking about how we're over. Will you shut up for a second so I can talk? Thank you. We'll put you back on in just a second. I got to get this out. The daily time frame, I'm running out of time. So you're legitimately running out of time because I'm running out of time to buy this back before we have to make a decision. And I sold it so that I could put all the money in to the copy trade. And I wanted to have 3K worth to trade with everybody initially. And we double bottomed. I wrote it up a little bit. I sold it because I decided I want it to be Linnea because I want to do a case study between Linnea and XRP. And if we're doing it together, everybody's going to see what's doing what against what. And I want to see the value of this chart right here. And I'm doing it more in focus now so you can see what I'm talking about. So instead of having it pulled out, this is what we're looking at right now. Your opportunity right now is we're on the bottom. We're going to come back up to resistance and we're going to fill this out. And I like to buy towards the bottom. So when I sold it out, I waited, it tapped. I should have bought it here, but I'm trying to give everybody the amount of time to freaking get in. But you're out of time. Like literally, if you haven't got in yet, you're basically out of time. And I didn't even think my wait might have even been warranted. How many people are even in here? And the shame is this happens all the time. And then once we start cooking, everybody wants to come in. Three people, which is fine. I'm glad 3 people are part of it. So, but if you wanted to be part of it, like legitimately, you're essentially out of time. You can't really wait any longer. It should work. It should work. But yeah, that's just that's what I'm thinking for the group. So, or not thinking, that's what I'm doing. But I'm pretty sure I know what's happening here. But you know, you can never say 100%. So I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. And if nobody got in on it, that's okay. So Linnea. And then if we come through an area where we have to have a big drop, I'm just going to trade it like I normally would. Like, I really don't care. I'm just going to do what I do. Isolated. 0.16. Probably fell all of these for 1.6. Open long. Oh, shoot, I put the price wrong. It's not. I'm glad it told me that. That would have sucked. Ooh, there's a lot of people selling it right there. Probably get a decent price right there. If I do this right. Okay, perfect. It filled, so I'm gonna keep that open for the time being. This will be a good way to so it's $3,088. It cost $1.54 for that trade. FYI on $3,000 if you're wondering. Um, so what does that come out to? We had an average of 0.1667, I think it said. Yeah, 0.1667, $3,088. So, oh, here, let's put this asshole back on.
Leveraging AI in the payment system. It's worth noting that the firms engaged in these activities include banks, asset managers, retail payment firms, technology companies, as well as crypto-native fintechs. This is an acknowledgement that distributed ledgers and crypto assets are no longer on the fringes, but are increasingly woven into the fabric of the payment and financial system. Now, before we hear from these innovators, I would like to touch on roles that the Federal Reserve plays to support the private sector. These include serving as a convener to solve coordination problems and operating core payment and settlement infrastructure. We are also looking ahead, conducting hands-on research on tokenization, using smart contracts, and the intersection of AI and payments for use in our own payment systems. We do this to understand the innovation happening with.
Guys, I've been talking about all you have to do is follow my link. You didn't have to be a member, but it's too late now. I have to do what I have to do. I've been talking about it and waiting for so long that everybody will catch the drift, just like on BitUnix. Nobody followed at first. We got up a bunch of money. Everybody followed. They made money, and then BitUnix just ended the way that it was. I still love BitUnix. It's not as easy to do things from the USA. So, no, there was no stipulation here except click on my link.
In the payment system, as well as to evaluate whether these technologies could provide opportunities to upgrade our own payment infrastructures and to enable us to have deeper conversations with the industry on these new technologies. While this is a good start, I believe we can and should do more to support those actively transforming the payment system. To that end, I have asked Federal Reserve staff to explore the idea of what I'm calling a payment account. Today, Federal Reserve banks provide access to master accounts and financial services to legally eligible entities, following our guidelines for evaluating account and services requests. The payment account would be available to all institutions that are legally eligible for an account and would be beneficial for those focused primarily on payment innovations. This payment account concept would be targeted to provide basic Federal Reserve payment services to legally eligible institutions that right now conduct payment services primarily through a third-party bank that has a full-fledged master account. There are many eligible firms engaged in substantial payments activities that may not want or need all the bells and whistles of a full-fledged master account, or access to the full suite of Federal Reserve financial services to successfully innovate and provide services to their customers. The idea is to tailor the services of these new accounts to the needs of these firms and risks they present to the Federal Reserve banks and the payment system. Accordingly, and importantly, these lower risk payment accounts would have a streamlined timeline for review. Payment innovation moves fast and the Federal Reserve needs to keep up. To be more concrete, let me describe a possible prototype that I've been considering for this type of payment account, or as I sometimes call it, a skinny master account. The account would provide access to the Federal Reserve payment rails while controlling for various risks to the Federal Reserve and the payment system. To control the size of the accounts and associated impacts on the Fed's balance sheet, the Reserve banks would not pay interest on balances in a payment account, and balance caps may be imposed. These accounts would not have daylight overdraft privileges. If the balance in the account hits zero, payments will be rejected. They would not be eligible for discount window borrowing or have access to all Federal Reserve payment services for which the Reserve banks cannot control the risk of daylight overdrafts. Now, I want to be clear that this is just a prototype idea to provide some clarity on how things could change. The upshot is that, in my view, the payments landscape, as well as the types of providers, has evolved dramatically in recent years, and accordingly, a new payments account would better reflect this new reality. As Federal Reserve staff examine this idea, we will engage with all interested stakeholders to hear their perspectives on the benefits and drawbacks to this approach. So you will be hearing more about this shortly. So let me wrap up here so we can get to the really exciting part of the conference, not me blabbering, which is about innovation and the future of payments. So thank you to the panelists who took the time to participate.
I feel like XRP's
Those
got to
in the
come up to that
audience who agreed to
265.
be
I
here,
think that's what we're working
and many
on.
others watching online.
I think we're coming up to this
And a special
265,
thanks to
266.
Fed staff,
This
who
guy's
moved
such a
incredibly
fucking
fast
bore. But
to pull
anyhow,
this event together and fit it into a very
Whatever.
very busy fall schedule for the Fed. So on with the conference, and thank you.
fucking great. Thanks
Okay,
for nothing. Let's see where we're
Be
at.
able to rail.
I don't know. I'm not watching it. But I'll go through that and see if there's anything else that I need to talk about. I just wanted to hear that guy, but he didn't tell us shit. But XRP coming to $2.65, it looks like. It's XRP Future Millionaire if you're on TOOBIT, but you got to click on my link. If you don't click on the link, it's privatized. So if you don't click on the link I share in these lives, you can't join it. I did that for safety. I think we're going to 265-ish, honestly. Hi Tom, I'm more excited about this market than a morning wood at the red light district. Let's fucking go. Oh, that's a beautiful way to describe it. Mike, I'm glad to see you and your friend. Mike has a unique personality, but he's a good soul. He's a good soul. Nick, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram and in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And that is my face superimposed on that emoji badge circa 2019. But it seems like that's where we're working here with XRP. True, good morning and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your second month with Dusty Dollars Crypto News. Absolutely. I like what I'm seeing though as far as what's happening across the markets. Now it's not going to be without some kind of volatility, of course. But I do think we're striving in that way. I talked about the short squeeze in Bitcoin a couple days ago when it was down 5,000 from where it's at now. And it seems like that's what needs to happen. There's not as much bottom side liquidity. Now, could this reverse very quickly? It sure can. I expect some kind of, unless we get an all-out continuation here, I expect some kind of a buyback here at some point. We're going to refight that $50 level. But we're just going to have a lot of fight here. There's going to be a lot of fight between all markets. Crypto's trying to figure it out and see if we can come up. But I do expect at some point here XRP to retap that 265 level just to tell us if it's bearish and we have to continue down and retest a little lower. If we can finally start pushing out of these upper boundaries, get us up over 272 and start that ever slow grind back up to that 306 area. Oh, there's a huge inverse head and shoulders setting up here. Massive. It goes all the way back, too. That's why this touchdown was vital. Like this, I mean, you could look at this from the grand scale, because that's the all-time pattern. You could look at this from all the way back, and we've talked about how this brings us up here. And I don't think there's any question in my mind that we're going up in time to finish off this move. And that's what gets us through it. This whole thing gets us through it. There's so much good here. And now that the weekly with the stochastic is massively oversold. I mean, it's massively, while the RSI is just below neutral. This suggests a imminent rally here for XRP. Daily's moving up past neutral. This is suggesting a further continuation. 3 hourly is way down there too. I mean, this is perfect conditions. And we have money flowing out of gold and silver and commodities. It's going to find their way here. Money's finding yield today. And now people aren't finding the yield and risk off. I mean, risk off with that. They're going to put it, I mean, man, oh man. Oh yeah, there's some big stuff. Votodamus, welcome in, and thanks for being in Townsend for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge. Orderly. Oh, this whole entire, since that drop looks ultimately impressive. Because now it takes the opposite approach, and we should, let's say we come past 265, we'll have a date up here at 286. keep saying there's a lot of people sitting on the sideline after that drop that are missing out on probably the easiest money of the year in crypto. Literally. As long as you recognize you had to be on the sidelines for a little bit, or at least have money on the sidelines, you are just sitting here going, I can't believe this happened, because that's what happened to me. But anyhow, I've been on for a while. I think I've covered everything. Oh, the linear chart. I wanted to finish going through this. So this is important because I think we're about to rotate soon back up to this 1.8. If we break out of the 1.8, linear, and I've said this before, if we can break up in the upward, even if we're bearish, we're coming back to 248. We have to. After a substantial breakdown like that, as we came and filled every liquidity gap we had, we melted all the way back down. But what have we not done? We've never melted all the way back up now. We put ourselves in a great spot here. Just a great spot understanding that chart. Did I mention we put ourselves in a great spot understanding that chart? Remember when it came up to the resistance, I said, don't panic if you didn't buy the drop. Just don't buy this resistance because we have no idea what's going on. Now you've been able to let it come down some 25%. Now you can make these decisions here on the bottom more. Then it comes up here, and then if you get nervous, I mean, make it. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do. I can't and I won't. I'm not a financial advisor. But I do emulate one pretty damn nicely. Well, I don't emulate them. I crush financial advisors year by year. I eat them for breakfast. You guys eat cereal. I eat advisors for breakfast. I put myself up against my dad's financial advisor when he gets the strategic FANG stocks and the general play that gets the safe 6% a year. You know, but on a good year, you should be getting 30, 25. And then when the capital rotation goes down, they're always amongst the worst hit because they all believe in the same things. All of them. But that's where we're at. I'm very happy about where these setups are at. I mean, extremely happy at what's going on here. I mean, I couldn't be happier with positioning. I couldn't be happier with what's happening. Now it's just a wait and see game. It's the patience game. Guess who has more patience than anybody? I do. I deal with commodities and precious metals. You've got to be one patient son of a bitch in that sector. So, be blessed, everybody. Eat your heart out at the deal.